technologies. ACES, automated, connected, electric, shared vehicles. People at Clemson tell us that, people at BMW, a lot of the people have used different mnemonics. CASE is one I heard earlier. I had thought about that, but it's just a matter of the way you line up the letters, right? But I like ACES, and that's what we're using, and we're pleased to be here. I want to say that we have a number of members of the team here that work with us, and Dick Mudge is in the insurance facility meeting now, but Stan has communicated with us about the electric side of how do we get more efficient vehicles and this kind of thing. So we are pleased. Matt is part of a team that has worked with us in the past. And so anyway, we're excited about it. So in 2016, we really engaged as a community in the USDOT Smart City Challenge. And this slide was our vision in 2016, in February 2016. And it really hasn't changed. We didn't get selected. We were one of 78 applicants. We weren't even in the top 7. If we had been in the top 7, I believe we could have been the winner instead of Columbus, because we really have a great idea. And if you look here, we have lots of different kinds of vehicles, ranging from a golf-sized type vehicle. Back then, we were saying it was a club car. It turned out it's a Cushman that was the first automated electric vehicle that we brought to Greenville last August. But Proterra buses, Proterras are made in Greenville, one of their manufacturing plants there. And BMW makes more BMWs in Greenville and Spartanburg, South Carolina than anywhere else in the world. 1,450 vehicles a day come off the assembly line. They're all fully automated. They're not turned on now, and BMW doesn't talk about their technology. So, you know, they probably would shoot me for saying that, but the truth is they could drive themselves off the end of the assembly line to the place that they're going to be taken to a train to take them to Charleston to export around the world. But anyway, so we had this concept. We had lots of partners in mind. And we also had a big vision for regional transportation change. So if you look at the big circle here, on the right-hand side, the orange circle, up in the upper right-hand corner is Greenville-Spartanburg Airport. And on the left-hand, lower side, is Clemson University. It's over in Pickens County. So this is a multi-county area. Our MPO is Greenville-Pickens counties, and we envision taking all of that and combining it with technologies that would improve mobility. And then to go back to start with phase 1, the little green circles suggested that what we would do is to develop solutions for local first, last mile mobility. How do you get from where you live to within your neighborhood, within a mile or so of where you live, where that daily activities of work, shopping, learning, healing, playing, dining, whatever. And and we're doing that now with a federally funded federal highway grant to deploy automated taxis, we're calling them, A-taxis. And so that'll be in some small areas. And then the blue circle is we expand from small districts to a larger area. And this happens to be Greenville, Malden, Simpsonville, in that particular area. Now, I'm not sure why that's showing up like that. But anyway, what it says is Carolinas Alliance for Innovation is a Greenville consortium. We needed something like that. We believe any community that wants to advance its transportation has to have this public-private consortium. So it's hard to develop it. It's taken us a couple of years to develop this, but I'm just telling you, we believe it's a necessary element for mobility solutions. But we are dealing with real needs. On the left here, first last mile needs is the target right now. Improvement of access to health care. Our emergency medical service is for the poor areas of our community is inundated with calls for non-emergency medical transportation. They just want a ride to medical care. They've got a minor problem. It's minor medically, but to them it's a major problem, and they want help now. And they call. It costs us about $500 to deploy an ambulance. We think that we can deploy a much cheaper option with and if in the middle here, real roads with real vehicles, so public roads. The top vehicle is a Cushman 6 that operated for 3 years at Fort Bragg under a TARDEC, U.S. Department of Defense TARDEC program run by Robotic Research. They're our automation partner in Greenville. We think they make the best automation package in America. We don't know about the others, but we know theirs is very good. And it actually is the automation system that's used by Ollie now. Where's Ollie? There you go. Yeah, so he didn't mention Greenville, and I can't mention what we're going to do because we haven't completed an RFP process. But let me tell you, Local Motors is probably the only company that's going to be able to satisfy when we do our RFP. There'll be others, probably. We hope if you're in the community and in this room here and you want to respond to an RFP, we'd love to have you. But you're going to have to meet our standards, and that means basically automation with robotic research, because we think it's the best. And Green for You Technologies is a company down in Georgia. They're in line. They'll be one of the ones that will come after Ollie to Greenville. But on the right-hand side is just an illustration of how our partnerships work. The blue circles at the top are local, state, and federal partners. We did get a $4 million federal grant. We had to match it with $4 million of our own money. We actually matched about $5 million of cash and in-kind. So we're ready to go. Took us several months to complete all the budgetary things. But anyway, we did that. We also need those partners at the bottom, corporate partners like Robotic Research, but grant partners like an organization called Global Autonomous Vehicle Partnership, academic partners like Clemson University International Center for Automotive Research, and then foundations and corporations. In order to make it happen, it takes money. Now, here's some of our partners, and I won't go over all of those, but so in planning, we have to deal with the real world, and we also have to think about the theory. And so on the left is a real world application. On the right shows how we imagine our future. I don't understand why it's not working right, but you can see we have centers that need to be connected along corridors, and then the corridors create communities, and so we're trying to serve them. So our goal is smart city green villages development. Green villages are attractive, green, livable, walkable, sustainable, connected centers. They're mixed use where people love to workshop, dine, and play. And our internal mobility is with A-taxis, automated taxis, and green pods, pod cars they call them in England, enable connectivity between the green villages. Now, this is a diagram that I believe it came from To Get There. I couldn't find the origin of it, but after seeing a presentation that To Get There was going to do, this is intended to suggest that in small neighborhoods, you have a connected vehicle service that's either A-taxis or it could be a green pod type system, but then it connects over longer distances as well. And so we need that, we believe, to cover the larger area. Why autonomous vehicles? It's increased safety, increased access, increased capacity, or other reasons. Why Greenville? We believe we're the right place at the right time, a mid-sized metropolitan area that can scale up and down. We'll make these slides available. Robotic Research, I've already said, is one of our main partners. Here's a map of the areas, Verde and CUI Car. Verde is a high-end development, and I don't understand the sign turns sideways. Technology, guys. I'm sorry. That's the problem. That people, there are three challenges that we face in automation. One is technology. We're getting there. Number two is public regulation, insurance, and that kind of thing. And third is human acceptance. And you know the story about we trust technology, and here it doesn't work properly. That's the problem that people have with trusting automated vehicles right now. So anyway, mobility hubs serve areas, and really, I think the point of this slide is to show you that if you put your mobility centers with about every mile apart, and they have, so you have a half-mile circumference that they need to be able to walk or ride to get there, you can have pretty thorough coverage. Now, the third area that we're dealing with is Parker, a very poor area in town. We believe that taxi shuttles are going to improve access and mobility at a lower cost, increase the ridership. But we really believe that green pods for personal rapid transit are a huge new thing. We haven't said much in this conference about that, but I believe that they're the solution. The one, increased safety is exemplified in Morganton and West Virginia. Over 2 million vehicle miles traveled with 0 accidents, 0 deaths. It reduces road rage congestion. It's happening in other places around the world. We hope in the next couple of years in Greenville. We had an unsolicited proposal from Transit X. This is just an example. And Michael is a great guy, very innovative guy, lives in Boston. He proposed 341-mile network in our region. We'd love to have something like this where we have a private technology vendor like Transit X working with an EPC company, engineering, procurement, construction company, and global financing partners. If you'd like to be a part of that in Greenville, we'd love to have you come and be a part of that. And we've got some innovative financing. I can talk about that later, but I'm out of time. Thanks. My final thoughts are we need to look at Covey's 7 habits, and they're listed here. And if you want to talk, come see me later. Thanks, Mark.